Hello and welcome back to Confessions of a Gamer Girl podcast. I'm your host, Doom Cutie, and we've got the full squad today. How exciting. Welcome back, Lishi. How have you been?
Thank you. Hello.
Welcome
Oh my God.
back.
I've been here, there, and everywhere. It's been a crazy few weeks, but I'm glad to be back.
I've been loving seeing all of your updates about your studio on Instagram.
Yes, I'm here.
It's looking gorgeous.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you should be super duper proud of all the work that you've been doing on that. So, yeah.
Thank you so much. I'm really happy with it.
You're welcome. Ellie, how are you? Welcome in.
Hello. I've been good. I'm excited every single week to be here. So it's Saturday again and I'm excited again.
Woo! Love that energy, Ellie. Thank you so much. And this week we have a flaming hot guest, might I say. Fiamma, welcome to Confessions of a Gamer Girl.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
No, not a problem at all. Now, before we begin, I will say that we are raising money for breast cancer research. We have a Tiltify link for everyone, and we have our first donation. Top donator, Lishi, with a $10. Thank you so much.
Get the ball rolling.
Kick it off. If
Absolutely.
we reach our $500 donation goal, we will be streaming potentially Fortnite. Ellie's very excited. It's
Yes.
I believe in the Quest Daily chat. It's been encouraged that your son's first word should be Fortnite. No pressure.
I'm working on it. Don't you worry. I hustle every single day. Mama, Papa, Fortnite.
So yes, look forward to that if we can get there. So definitely, and obviously, you know, the most important thing, raising money for supporting breast cancer. So thank you to everyone who is looking at donating, has donated, and let's get into it. I also have another surprise. Sorry, I just can't help myself. So I made this purchase from Kmart. Okay, we love a little bit of Kmart. Now, this is a very special magical switch.
Oh no.
Okay. I wonder what this switch could be for. Now, I don't know how well it's going to show up on the camera actually.
I'm scared.
But are you ready? Do you want to do a countdown?
Oh God.
3.
From 5.
Oh, 5.
3. Let's do 5. 5. 5. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Oh, that's so cute.
Beautiful.
Oh, look at that. Tree in November.
It is November.
Look.
It is Christmas.
No judgment.
There are two kinds of people in this world, all right? And the two kinds of people are November Christmas tree people, me, and
Everyone
people
else.
who don't like joy. Basically. No, but you know what? I will say I take my Christmas tree down 1st of January. Like it's just
Really?
yeah,
Who are you?
gone.
December
I cannot.
1st, family tradition. Tree goes up
Okay.
December 1st
Yeah.
and comes down January 3rd.
Ah, nice.
Third.
Because that way we can be okay after New Year's Eve.
Oh,
And then we have a couple days to just kind of bask in the, oh no, it's not Christmas anymore. And then we take it down as our final resignation of it's over. We have to go back to work soon.
It makes sense.
Or, you know,
I'm
forever
with you
for
for
creators.
December 1st.
Yep.
I think when does mum take her tree down usually? I think like no later than maybe the 6th or 7th of January, but I'm not too sure.
Yeah, isn't there a limit of like when it's meant to be bad luck in January of like you're supposed to take it? Is it like the 11th or something that you're supposed to take it down beforehand? Otherwise, it's like bad luck for the new year. I think it's like a British tradition because my dad is always on me about taking my tree down because I get live ones each year because I have like no storage. And so I just don't want to get rid of them. Smells of pine,
that
it's lovely.
smell.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm definitely for Christmas decorating in November. Even though I haven't done it myself, I'm totally for it because I love it. I love the Christmas vibes. I decorate for Halloween all of October, so I'm a decorator.
Love that. Love a bit of festivity, but you know, each to their own. Obviously, if you have your family traditions, but my children love this. Okay, it's Bluetooth adapter. Okay,
That's
bit
crazy.
techie, you know, for Christmas. Love it. 3 AA batteries, doesn't come with them. Buy the batteries. Kmart, $29. It's like a Bluetooth receiver. It doesn't say this on the box, but you actually have to turn it into the on position and let the lights blink 3 times and then turn it off and then it'll work. So if you're wanting like a grand reveal, set it up.
Make sure you're prepared.
Because I did that with my kids and they were like, Mum, it's not working. And I'm like,
Oh.
Whoops.
it's my first time, guys. Anyway, love that. Wanted to share that. Let's get into what games we have been playing. Lishi, what games have you been playing?
Well, but a couple of weeks ago, I was jumping into Super Mario Wonder and Spider-Man. And there've been some that I've really loved to play. Mario, I completely 100%ed. Loved that game to pieces. But I actually, just before the show, I downloaded the demo for Dave the Diver. I've been hearing so much about this indie game. And it's like a roguelite fishing game where during the day you'll go diving to catch fish for a sushi restaurant. And at nighttime, you go and run the restaurant. And it's really, really cool. It's like a pixel art design as well. I've been hearing a lot about this because I'm a big indie gamer. If you guys don't know, I love that kind of stuff. So yeah, I downloaded the demo and I actually think I'm going to buy the game now because it's pretty fun.
Awesome.
Dave the Diver.
Dave the Diver.
Love that.
Love
Do
a
you
good
play it on
restaurant
the
management sim.
Switch?
Yeah, me too.
Do you play it on the Switch?
Yeah, I've downloaded the demo on the Switch, so I'll probably buy it on the Switch as well. Just because it's a little easier with a controller. But yeah, no, it's different. It's fun. I like it.
Cute. What about you, Ellie?
I've been playing Grubbins on mobile actually.
Yes.
Yeah. Gubbins, sorry, not Grubbins. For those who don't know, I'm gonna be stuff it up trying to explain it how it is. But essentially it's like a word game where you get a bunch of tiles and you have to make words out of these tiles, and you can, the typical Scrabble where you can cross them over and stuff. But they disappear when you make the word. But they also throw in good gubbins or bad gubbins, and good gubbins is here, have a letter, or we can organize your turned over tiles at the bottom into a word for you. Or you get the bad ones where they will lock the word that you're playing so you can't add tiles and you can't check it off, or it'll change one of the letters, which is crazy frustrating because if it changes a letter in the middle, you can't do anything with it. And so that is from an indie developer in Melbourne. They're small time. And so I've really been enjoying that. I love a bit of a word game, but it is only one game a day unless you're paying for the package. And so I think, I'm tempted to pay for the pack, but we'll see. But I'm definitely enjoying it.
Yeah, no, I've seen everyone's look, you can choose to be a bit more adult or a bit more
Bit silly.
I've seen a couple of yours, Ellie. They've been a bit spicy.
You can. That's the cool thing. You can use like anything that's like technically a word, so swear words, naughty words. You can use them, and it's that to me is like good fun because normally they block it off, don't they? They're like, nah, I can't use that. It's naughty. Nah, gubbins, they're here for it. It's a good time.
When I was at South by Southwest, I was actually very lucky to get to chat with one of the devs from Studio Folly who do make gubbins, and I did ask him, I said, look, this is a word game, it's online, you can share this, what kind of safeguards are put in place for, particularly expletive, racist, kinds of words, and they're constantly updating it all the time to actually put in bans for particular words.
So I imagine there would be some blacklisted words.
Basically you can put tits in there, but you can't put the N word.
Slurs.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
amazing.
Basically. So fantastic job with that team. If you do want to support that game, I believe because it's free to play,
free download and free play.
Yeah, but I think it's $9 and that's it. So
that's pretty good.
It's a bit of fun. You get to share with your friends some funny words that you put together with some wacky little cartoons. As much as it does look like a kid game, I mean, it could be a kid game because
it definitely could.
It's definitely open, I think. Fantastic. So nothing on the PlayStation, Ellie?
Apart from Fortnite, sorry if you can hear someone mowing. Nothing apart from Fortnite at the moment. I still am in a bit of like, do I get Alan Wake 2 or do I get Spider-Man 2? Like, I would rather just pick a game and play it. And because I can't decide it yet, and I haven't really had a couple of days where I haven't been chock-a-block, I really want to throw myself into it. So I might do that. And I got really excited when Big W had their price for $20. I got very excited then. I'm like, maybe I've snagged myself a bargain, but unfortunately not.
If you haven't seen it, Quest Daily exclusive. A couple of our contributors noticed that Spider-Man 2 was listed for $20 on the Big W website. And a couple of them proceeded to put it in their carts, but in their cart it showed up as $99. A couple of them actually purchased it for $20 and then proceeded to have their orders cancelled. If you would like to learn more about that story, head over to Quest Daily.
Ali might have to pick up her PlayStation though in January after what just got announced today.
Exactly. That's what I'm most excited about. They've thrown that in the ring too. What am I supposed to do?
We will get to that exciting news very soon once we find out what Fiamma has been playing. Although
I can make it real short if you want. I can make it real short if you want. World of Warcraft. No. I am a WoW streamer. I've been dabbling a little bit in some variety. We played a bit of a BG3, Baldur's Gate 3, which was great fun. And oh no, but that's fine. Shadowheart, my love. But since BlizzCon, everything has just kind of exploded, and everyone is kind of in my community and stuff elbow deep in just everything Blizzard. But I have been playing a bit of Warcraft Rumble on the side, which is their relatively new mobile offering, which is really cute and super fun. You get like a handful of little minis that you can drop down on a map, and they sort of auto march their way to the end where a big boss is waiting. All the units and bosses and maps and stuff are all drawn from the Warcraft universe. and it's a lot of little silly fun. It's free to play, and you can pick it up and play a round for 5 minutes, or you can sit there and invest several hours into it. It's fine. But it's designed to be one of those things that you can just kind of pick up when you're waiting for an appointment or something like that, or to degen it. But no, very cute, very fun. And it's the WoW anniversary, 19 years of World of Warcraft.
I know.
That's crazy.
Speechless.
19 years.
Yeah. So that kicked off yesterday in OCE, and it's been a lot of fun. But,
Did you you got your little dragon boy?
I did.
Yeah,
I love
that dragon model. It's really nice.
Oh, they're absolutely gorgeous. There's the little Frostwing who that comes out of the celebration package, and if you go smash Doomwalker in outside Caverns of Time, the mount, the Azure World Chiller, which is a recolor of the Obsidian Worldbreaker, which was the Deathwing mount. So it's like Deathwing but ice, and it's a 100% drop. So if it's something you like the look of, you can first kill takes you 5 minutes.
You get them out. You don't
Everyone gets them out. Yeah, you don't need it. Well, there's so many people there. You definitely don't need a group. It's amazing. But yeah, it's fantastic. Free stuff. I love free stuff.
Oh, definitely.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure I've only seen Fiamma stream World of Warcraft and Diablo.
D4 was great.
Yeah. So if you're a fan of World of Warcraft or Fire Mages, definitely head over to there, because she has an incredible community over there, and just
They're amazing.
A lovely human. Everyone that I've spoken to, and I've actually received a couple of DMs, they're like, "Oh my god, you're having Fiamma on, that's so cool, she's so great."
Oh.
So if you haven't felt good about yourself today for whatever reason, maybe your hair wasn't right, or I don't know, because women are like that. Honestly, they've given me such great feedback. So, and you should be so proud of the community that you've cultivated over there. So, and thank you so much for being here as well.
Of course, thank you for having me.
No, not a worry at all. Yes, World of Warcraft is fantastic. If you haven't said this before, I'll say it again, okay? And they're not paying me, but if you haven't played this game, it is the perfect time. There are so many catch-up mechanics, and you can just wander around the green forest with, a squad of Yes.
Can I make a super embarrassing plug?
You sure can.
Okay, thank you. I'm so sorry. Monday, I'm actually doing a sponsor stream with Blizzard, partnering with a creator. Thank you. Partnering with a creator who's not played WoW since Classic. And the whole idea is to show people how easy it is to slide right into the game and pick up with everybody else. So if you've been curious and you're like, come check us out. There's 5 Aussie creators who WoW creators, and 5 Aussie non-WoW creators that have all been partnered up, and we're all, I don't know when the other streams are, but we're all kind of throughout next week showing people how to join. It's amazing.
That's like calling out to me, because I just don't know anything about that.
I have got Fiamma's Twitch link in the
thank you.
I will also have it in our Spotify description as well. Definitely check that out. We'll share it across our socials when it does happen. That is awesome.
It's such a great idea from them.
That green forest. But do you know how cute the little character models on there, the little teeny tiny ones, and you see them on Twitter. They're like, look, I created these flowers and this echidna thing.
And if you want to see cute, do me a favor and search up Blue. It's blue like the color, and then loo like short for toilet. One word. BLUELLOO. It's a pet that has that's only now just available to go and collect. We got it yesterday on stream, and my lord,
cute.
How illegally cute.
Okay, hold on. I will put it up on the screen for everyone right now, because
that is unbelievably cute.
That is so cute.
You want cute? We got cute.
What? What do you mean? Oh my goodness. Okay. It's happening. You're going to see it. Ready?
Yeah.
How cute. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm enamored. Thank you, Fiamma. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Not that I needed to be in love with World of Warcraft any more than I currently am. How exciting. Yeah, we did raiding, guys. We raided. We're like, wait, how many bosses there? 8. So we're
9.
7 out of 8. 9. Yeah, we're 8 out of 9.
Medricel 9, yeah. That's awesome. Well done.
Yep. I was a scrub mage, DPS, but there is you can
teamwork.
fly the last boss. You fly. You fly on your dragon.
Tindril, yeah. They've been referring in the Race to World First, they've been referring to him as T-Swift. Because it's like Tindril Swift something, and so it's Taylor Swift. But yeah, you dragon ride from platform to platform and collect orbs as you go. It's bananas. It's so much fun.
It's so great. So yeah.
Can you tell I love my game? Like, it's just I can't help myself. Oh man.
Yes. Fantastic. We'll move on from the World of Warcraft because I'm pretty sure we could talk about that. Well, you know what? We'll do a WoW special. Blizzard, reach out.
I might have a contact.
We'll talk after the show. This week in gaming news, I know Ellie is busting. She's bursting to talk about this. She's wriggling in her seat. Please tell everyone what gaming news that just dropped this morning.
It did. So our besties over at Naughty Dog, what time is it now? So like 2 hours ago, dropped that the Last of Us Part 2 remaster is coming January 19. So that's not it. 2 weeks. No, 2 months. 2 months away because it's the 18th today. So it's 2 months away, which is super exciting. But I will put a disclaimer out there. My eyesight is shocking. My eyesight is shithouse. And so remasters, I feel like sometimes they're lost on me because I'm like, my eyes are at 480p, but I know that's at 4K. I know it. So as long as I'm going to clean my glasses professional grade, I'm going to get up a bit closer to my TV and I'm going to enjoy that remaster. But yeah, apparently there's lots of new features, which is super exciting. So No Return, it's called No Return Roguelike Mode. Now I had to look up what roguelike was because not going to lie, I had never heard that term before. And apparently it's combining aspects of action adventure and role-playing games. So it's a genre that requires you, if you die in the game, you start over, which sounds terrifying, but also hilarious for someone like me who's not a very good shooter gamer in general. It would be very, very funny to see me go back to the start because I'm a rage gamer. And then other like fun things, there's like Lost Levels with dev commentary, which for me, for like love behind the scenes sort of things. Don't know about you girls, but I love behind the scenes things. Absolutely love them. You know, you get to see what the devs were thinking, what they wanted to do. It's awesome. Guitar free play, which is that in itself is pretty funny if someone's asking to play guitar inside of the game, each to their own. Graphic enhancements, of course, dual sense integration, which that in itself is super exciting, and then and more we've been hinted to. So I'm excited.
I haven't played The Last of Us. I'm just gonna like put it out there.
You're not a horror gamer, so that makes sense.
Yes.
I've watched it.
Yes.
Does that count?
That counts. Yeah, that counts. Because it's not going to be for everyone. Like every single game isn't going to be for everyone, but you know, you can watch it. Like I used to watch more games than I used to play back in back when YouTubing playthroughs were like big, like the Rad Brad. I used to love watching him. And also he was a really bad, it sounds awful probably, but he's known to be quite a bad gamer. Like it's like a joke within his community that he's not necessarily like an eagle-eyed gamer. Like, the bigs like PewDiePie back in the gaming day. There used to be really good players who would put it on YouTube, but the Rad Brad was so honest. And he's like, I miss stuff. I don't go and get things I'm supposed to. It is what it is. And that's kind of what I've taken into my streaming career is like I'm not a good gamer, but I'm having fun and I like backseat gaming. And so I roundabout way of saying I used to love watching games more than I would play them anyway, but now I'm a bit braver. I can play them by myself sometimes.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah, so does that mean you're going to play? You're going to play The Last of Us in January, in 2 months?
No.
At least she's honest.
No, I won't be. It just what do they call the clickers or whatever? They're just
Yeah.
Well, you don't play part 2 then.
Yeah, I'm currently streaming that on Wednesday nights, and it's scary. Molotovs are my favorite thing because you just yeet and you run. You just let them blow up and you run, and I like that. I like that a lot. Precision, never heard of her.
Yeah, I can't say
I hope for the best.
I can't say I'm excited to play it. Like, great game. It's a fantastic game. I'm just not ready to play it again. However, the new content is pretty appealing. I'm glad that they've included that to have a point of difference, because if it's just a remaster, I don't know. I just feel like these games get released over and over again so often, and like for a reason, because they are two of the most amazing games that have ever been made. I will go to my grave saying that. But yeah, just like a remaster is not enough for me to jump back into it again, given how heavy it was and how, for me, it was quite a long game because I took my time with it. But the new content does sound pretty good. So
Ellie,
I don't think I'll play it straight away.
Fair. No, totally fair.
Ellie, was there a price listed in the announcement?
I'm just looking at
Is
the
there
tweet
a-
now, and it
Is there a
doesn't.
pre-order?
It doesn't look like. I'll follow the link and we'll have a look-see. Up straight to their. No, it just leads to the blog of Naughty Dog actually, so it's not actually showing that there's any price. But I mean,
well, the remaster was, $125. So
there's a whole bunch of merch coming though with it, which is exciting. There's a bunch of enamel pins, the trading cards that Ellie collects throughout, steelbook, which is a given. A lot of people love a bit of a steelbook, and the wolf, the Washington Liberation Front, their patch. I won't lie, I am a big sucker for merch. For my favorite games, I love a bit of merch, and I don't really have anything for The Last of Us, so I like that idea. But I also quite like tangible things that you can kind of put on your wall. Like I really like the Dark Pictures anthology, and they, for one of their games within season 1, they released a map and it had where all the games were, like location were played, whatever, made. And I pinned that up on my wall, and that's really cool. But tiny things like pins, I don't really have anywhere to like put them. Like they're cool, but I don't really, unless I get a cork board. But
yeah, I was just about to say, get some photo frames.
Oh yeah, photo frames is cool. Like even like a little shadow box.
Yeah, you just take the glass off, pin them on the back of the photo frame. I've done that with so many of mine, and it's like a little art piece.
Yeah, no, that's really smart actually. That's a nice idea. But steelbooks are also really cool because you can kind of display them on your gaming shelves and whatever. I think I have one steelbook. So
Fiamma,
yeah.
I think you might be on team cash grab here, because again, like, come on.
I don't know, remasters, Reforge. I mean, Warcraft 3 Reforge, but that was there's a lot of. I think they do need to add value. I definitely agree with Lishi with like having the extra stuff there, and then with Ellie having the merch and things like that. If they can put together a package of like get the remastered game and like a smattering of merch stuff. I'm a sucker for a collector's edition. Like this, you can't really see it in the dark here, but this is Burning Crusade through to Dragonflight, and then the 15th anniversary. Hang on, let me see if I can light that up, because there's a lot of them.
Oh yeah! Wow. Yeah.
Yep.
Wow! Literally.
Literally, wow. Yeah.
Wow.
So it's, but they come with, as you were saying, like art pieces and things I can put on the shelf. And I've like the Dragonflight thing came with about pins and it's
they're nice.
They're beautiful. Oh, they're gorgeous.
They're like stunning.
They've got the metal inside and then like the clear resin stuff. But anyway, it's
cool.
Yeah, so having those kind of tangible things that you can, I like art and I like wearables, like useful things, cups, mugs, t-shirts, jackets, that kind of thing. Stuff that sits on a shelf, slightly less so, but still pretty nice. Yeah, I think if they can pop some value in there, if they're selling just the game remastered for as much as the original one was,
Yeah.
that's when I start feeling like, is it worth it? But
Yep.
that's just me, each to their own.
No, I agree.
Especially for, like,
I'd
a
almost
favorite game.
wonder if, like, because obviously remastering is better graphics, right? I also wonder how much more you're going to get. It's not like The Last of Us Part 2 was grainy and you couldn't really see it. Like, it's not like it was
It's a
horrid.
fairly modern
So
game.
that's
Yeah.
what I
Just
was
to
thinking.
take
So
advantage of the PS5, though.
I would say
know.
that, yeah, it's a bit cheeky, but it makes sense. I don't know. I think if it's your all-time absolute favorite set of
Yeah.
games,
Yeah.
then
Absolutely.
like absolutely worth it. I would love to see it as best as it can, all the
Yep.
the extra bits and bobs that you get with it plus the merch. Totally worth it. But if it's the same as you, Leash, it's like you recognize it, it's awesome, will you play it again? Meh.
Yeah.
Depending on the price point, which, like we've said, normally sits over $100, it's a bit of a meh. Because wasn't the remake about $80 last time for part 1? And everyone was like, girl, has that got $80 worth of content inside of it? That's
When was part 2 originally released? How long ago?
I think
Sorry.
2018. Am I
Yeah.
right in saying 2018?
5 years.
No, it was 2020.
3 years.
Yeah.
2020,
3
okay.
years.
Yeah, no, that's. I mean, I get remastering, cashing in on nostalgia, something that's 10, 15 years old, but 3 years later, that feels like we need more money. Here's a re-release. We're running out of money to fund our next project. Like,
It does,
to
yeah.
me.
I would much rather them do some kind of side story. A whole
Add
new
more
game
content.
in
Yeah,
a side
that's-
story
yeah.
that can relate to the story, but maybe like how Uncharted did The Lost Legacy, focus on a different character from the main game and create something new.
Really like that.
But if they hadn't have done part 1, like they wouldn't be doing this. So it's like, I get it. The puzzle's complete, but is it for me? Probably not.
The hardcore collector player, yeah.
Is there potential for there to be an online?
Yeah. Haven't they done that in the past? I thought they did it with part 1 back in the day. I could be wrong, but I feel like they had something that had an online
that rings a
aspect.
bell. That
Yeah,
definitely rings a bell.
Because I think
Yeah.
their money would be much more better spent. And I think the community would actually eat that up. Can you imagine an online survival set in that world?
Yeah.
That would. I mean, that would probably bring a lot of new players in as well. So
I agree. And then they've done the show too. So like the fan
Yeah.
base is there. Just take advantage of that in the right way.
for sure.
Mm.
For sure. Speaking of taking advantage, the
What
Game
a
Awards.
segue.
The Game Awards. I've been taking advantage of all of the content that has been coming out from that, and mostly from the community backlash. A lot of people get very passionate about their favorite games, and if you don't know what the heck I'm talking about, the Game Awards, created in 2014 by Jeff Keighley. He's got his big face on the website.
His big face.
Look, he's very he has a lot of self-importance, and he's worked as a journalist, producer of video game programming across multiple platforms, including print, television, and digital. And he's best known for his work in Entertainment Weekly, Spike TV, and YouTube. As well, Landmarks. I've never heard of this, but anyway. He was like, I love video games so much, I'm going to make my own awards show. Knew the right people, made it, and now everyone watches it. Game of the year.
That's a
let's
sigh.
talk about it.
A big sigh if I've ever heard one.
Okay. Game of the year. These are the nominees for Game of the Year. I'm going to post the voting the voting link in the chat for you guys, because what actually happens is the process is a bunch of journalists across the world, and I've actually know a couple of people that did it, which is really, really awesome. They approach these teams and are like, what are your games of the year? What are your 6 games? They put their nominees in, and then obviously that goes to like a massive, gets into a massive pile, and from that they tell everyone these are the games of the year. The nominees are Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel's Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4 Remake, Super Mario Brothers Wonder, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Some people say not, Ellie.
Oh, really? Is that the spice?
Some people say not because of the spread, the lack of Xbox exclusives, the fact that Spider-Man 2's up there. Look, like I said, people in the community get really passionate about it. But what I want to know from you ladies is, what is your game of the year and why, and how you feel about these nominees? What would you take out? What would you replace?
Who wants to kick off?
Mine will probably be short and sweet because I don't play a whole lot of games. So,
Fiamma, World of Warcraft has never been.
No, but it's not a game of this year, though. Why would it be?
No. But it's not even listed as an ongoing game. So there's a section for the most popular ongoing game. Fortnite's on that list, but World of Warcraft is not.
Right. Okay. So there we go. I can have some opinions on that. Opinions.
I have some opinions on that.
Look, people watch me for my opinions half the time. It's great. But no.
Let me find out what's on that list.
From my limited, so I've played BG3. Yeah. And that's from this list. That's it from the 6 of those. And then knowing that there's an ongoing thing, the ongoing category, and that Fortnite's there, but WoW isn't.
So we've got Apex, Cyberpunk 2077, Final Fantasy 16, Fortnite, and Genshin Impact.
Right. Okay. So that solidifies my opinion, which is this isn't about which games are best. It's about which games have the most coverage. Literally. And you said it yourself. It's run by a person who's an quote unquote ex-journalist, I guess, or someone who's in the journalism. These are all games. I know all of these games, and I've never played. I've only played one of the 6. I know all the games that you've listed, and I've never played any of them. Did you say Final Fantasy 16?
16.
16.
No,
I've never played any.
14.
No? 14. Okay, no, I've played 14. So I was like, is that ongoing? But no. So I've played one game in each of those categories, but I've heard of all of them. What does that tell you? It's about coverage. It's not about what's actually best. It's about who's gotten the most reviews that happen to be good, because they've all been, have the budget to get them out there and known and reviewed. And therefore, look at how high our rating is, because you've actually managed to get that many ratings.
Yeah.
I'm so with you there though, because dude, they're.
I mean, not to say any of these teams are not deserving whatsoever. They are spectacular games from what I've heard. I mean, I know BG3 is a spectacular game, but there are probably other games out there that are probably awesome, but they just don't have the coverage because they don't have the budget or the media connections. And that sucks.
It does.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that as well. I think it's the most of the time with any sort of awards, even like the big guys of, the Oscars and things like that. A lot of the times it's American based as well. It's very, very North American based, as well as being the AAA studios, and you're not really looking at the smaller items. So it would be very interesting actually to do a bit of a deep dive into these game awards to see how, I would almost borderline say genuine. The process. How do these games come to pop up there, and how much is it fan driven? Because how many times can you suggest something? It's almost like, if I compare it to something like, say, Triple J's Hottest 100, you can vote in any song that has been released within that year, and you can put it in, and if somebody else votes it, and then it will snowball, and then it gets into the hottest 100. But these games, you're supplied them, so it's like, here, pick from these 5 games, and it's like, okay, I get it. Like, sure, let's look. Best narrative, you've got your big ones: Alan Wake, Baldur's Gate, Cyberpunk, Final Fantasy, Spider-Man. Okay, cool, I've heard of those. Let's say I've played 3 of them and I quite like Spider-Man. Let's do Spider-Man. But best narrative, I could argue that another game that I've played throughout the year that isn't going to be up there for, like, let's say Under the Waves. I played Under the Waves. It's not there. I could argue, gosh, that would be best narrative. You don't get that option. So it's like, well, is there a bias here? Because you don't totally get the base level grassroots, let's add in this stuff. I will also throw out that I get that it can become a bit messy, and that, if you've got so many people throwing their hats in the ring, it can be a bit messy. But there should be people that are behind the scenes that can clean that up, and they're like, well, this, silent game that doesn't really have a narrative and storyline can't be part of this category. Let's get rid of it. But if the people are voting it, the people are voting it. If we're all Delulu, we're Delulu together. But it would be nice to have more input.
As much as there is a lot of controversy, I do want to congratulate Dredge.
Yeah.
Dredge is an Australian-made game. Incredible. Black Salt Games and Team 17 worked to get that game out there. It's listed as one of the best new indie games. I really want everyone to get behind that game and support it, because it's I've put the link in the chat, and I will also put it into the description on Spotify, so you all can jump on there.
Aren't they New Zealand team? I don't think they were Australian. I think they're New Zealand studio. Still down under. But I think they're
ANZ, New Zealanders, Australians, where you know what, actually, that's actually an amazing point, the fact that I actually assumed that, because New Zealand has really been embracing like Australian indie gaming, and I find it at the conventions and things like that, they're often put together. So,
but they had their own section at PAX.
They did. It was
Me,
amazing.
I think they're New Zealand, which is awesome. I need to play that game. It's been on my list for a while.
Definitely. Okay. Regardless of any of that, what is everyone's game of the year? What is the one game that stands out to you?
Mine was always Legend of Zelda until everything else started to release. But I'm looking at that list now, and I love Super Mario Brothers Wonder, and I've loved Spider-Man 2. I didn't play Baldur's Gate, even though we all know it's going to win. But Zelda, to me,
I don't know.
It's a tough one.
I don't know if it'll win. I don't know if
I feel like it
enough
will.
people.
I feel like it will as well.
Yeah,
but
it's very popular.
Yeah, I think I'm on Baldur's Gate
mine
for the win. But I would like to see Resident Evil 4. But I think I'm on Baldur's Gate.
It was just so inclusive. Like, there were so many different ways to play. You could literally see yourself inside the game. You could romance whoever you wanted. Like, it was just so unbelievably inclusive.
Yeah.
And I just fun. It was fun. I have fun with it.
Outside of who's nominated, Ellie, what was your game of the year? Or if it was on the list, that's totally fine too.
Oh, okay. My game of the year, because I will say I haven't even played majority of these at the moment, because I'm a Suki Lala and had too much choice, and I couldn't pick, because I really wanted to play Super Mario Wonder as well, but again, I don't have a Switch, so that was a bit of a struggle. I really liked Oxenfree 2. I really, really liked Oxenfree 2. If anyone's not super familiar, I would argue that they're quite, that's Night Studios. It's also by Netflix. Night School Studios, sorry. And I really enjoyed that. It was a creepy-esque sort side scroller. And you kind of investigate some weird going-ons in this town that you're in. And you get to pick your choices that, oh my gosh, words are escaping me. You're having a conversation with someone and you can pick what to say. So it's a choice based game as well. And I'm not too sure how much that actually changes how the game plays. I know that you get certain awards at the end being like, 5% of players picked this choice, and you do get secret things of like, oh, this character admitted this to you because you befriended them or whatever, which I really like. I really like choice games. I think the visuals were stunning. The art style was very, again, I'm not a pro to specify the art style, but it was like almost drawn and watercolory, which was beautiful, mixed with neons, which was really, really cool. The voice acting was also super satisfying. So that would be my outside of the big ones, Oxenfree too.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing, Ellie. Fiamma, your game this year.
Can I go with something that hasn't actually been released yet? Because I haven't played much outside of WoW.
Does it release this year?
No, unfortunately, because yeah.
might be against
I
the
know.
rules,
Okay, well, the thing is, like, this year, literally what I've played is WoW, BG3, Warcraft Rumble, and this weird little mobile game called Egg Inc. Which is like, I'm bored out of my mind. But I played games at PAX, which are not yet released, but they're like, coming out, anticipating 2024. So I'm sheltered. Okay, I'm.
That's okay though. Everyone's got like their favorites.
That's it.
I don't think it's bad that you play like one game or one genre. Like I tend to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? A lot of people play games for comfort. Because that's a fantastic segue. But my game of the year is Hogwarts Legacy. Everyone knows that. Okay, moving on. Apparently it looks bad on the Switch. I haven't played it on the Switch, but I saw some people playing on the Switch. Not sure. Maybe wait for a sale. Anyway, speaking of comfort.
Love that. Amazing.
Speaking of comfort. Gaming provides so much comfort to so many people, and it's what brings us back. Like Leisha, you are a perfect example of someone who does gaming to just relax, really soothe, and just really bring a sense of peace to yourself.
100%.
And there are so many people out there that do this. So outside of all the controversies that lie between, console warring and, who gets Game of the Year according to some self-professed, Game Award show host, journalist people, like you honestly, like always, play what you love and play what brings you joy. We have talked for a really long time, and I always... I swear I break it up into 15-minute sections and it always goes for long. But you know what? We're having a good time, and that's what matters. And we're raising money. We've okay. We've got one. Sorry, I'm like lost for words right now. We've got one anonymous donation for $10. Thank you so much to whoever that was. We have a $15 donation from another anonymous person, and we also have an extremely generous donation of $100.
Yay!
That's amazing.
From Liam, who is that Pixel Life.
On Liam, we love you.
Thank you so much. Big supporter of the podcast. So thank you so much.
Great.
That generosity is incredible. That brings our total so far to $135. So thank you so much. Gaming has such an effect on this community, and it's something that I love to highlight as much as possible. And Fiamma, for yourself and it's the reason why I wanted to bring you on, is to share your story about how gaming has assisted you in your treatment and your healing journey. Whatever you're comfortable with sharing, of
course,
please do.
Sure. So I've shared this story a fair few times with my community. So I'll basically I think that's probably where I draw my boundary personally. But basically, I have an autoimmune condition. I was diagnosed when I was about 26-ish. I had just finished a stream session, and I stood up out of my chair which was a lovely, comfortable chair. And it felt like in my knee that, you know, when you step funny on your ankle and it feels sort of odd and you're like, oh, I must have twisted my ankle. It felt like that, except in my knee, which I'd never felt before. I was like, oh, that's weird. Fine, that's fine. I'll just ignore it because that's what we do with our bodies. And over the course of 3 days, it swelled up and ballooned to twice its circumference. So when I put them next to each other, one was literally like this and the other one was like this. And I was like, that's odd. It'll go down. It'll be fine. 2 weeks later, still hadn't. Went and had all sorts of tests done. And after about a year and a half of trialing different medications and trying to work out what on earth was going on, I was diagnosed with psoriatic arthritis. So psoriatic as in psoriasis, like the skin thingamajig that people can have, except I have none of those symptoms. It's just inside my knee. And that has caused a whole raft of side effects from different medications, from the length of time it took me to seek treatment, and all that kind of stuff. It took us somewhere close to 6 months to actually get the swelling to go down, because of just a mix of different things. Some meds kind of made it plateau, and then finally we found something that got rid of the swelling all the way. But by that point, I'd had permanent damage inside my knee joint, which is fun. And then the meds that I was on originally that managed to do that started causing neurological symptoms. So I had a bunch of scans of my brain and my spine. It turns out I have a brain lesion, just an itty bitty little one, but it's enough. And so I had to switch medications to something and find something that still helped, but didn't cause that. I also at one point had drug-induced lupus, which is a fun thing to have too. I've also had some dental issues and stuff like that, which is a separate thing, but you know, still medical, still part of that journey and all that kind of thing. But gaming and streaming to an extent as well, but gaming was the core of it. That really kind of, like, a lot of people talk about using games as an escape. You know, you're in a different universe. You can kind of forget about what's happening where you are and lose yourself in a different universe. And for a while that helped, but after a while it didn't. And speaking to a medical professional, my psychologist, who I've been seeing since before I started streaming, she basically helped me understand that, you know, losing yourself in a video game as escapism can be helpful sometimes, but you also need to find a way that can, like, deal with the issues that you're going through, because just sort of forgetting about them for a while, once you disconnect from the game, it sort of can smack you across the face like a wet fish, which is unpleasant. But through video games, specifically multiplayer stuff, yes, like WoW, but also other games as well, you find a community. Like games, when people, especially in the media, when people talk about the effects of gaming, it's so often person and game. It doesn't take into consideration all of the other external sources, you know, family life and work and friends and all that kind of stuff, but also the community that you find in the game, the people that you're playing with, be they good or bad, and those kind of connections that you make. And for me, gaming and finding those connections in game, your vibe attracts your tribe, and having folks that I connected with, and then once I learned, you know, was comfortable enough to open up about some of these things, the number of people who were like, oh my God, I've been there. I've tried that medication. It did the same thing with me, even though my rheumatologist is telling me it's a 1 in 200,000 chance side effect. Like, meeting a person by chance through a video game that's had the same side effect that I have, that's bananas. So, like, it doesn't just help with the getting your mind off what's going on and really letting you just sort of have fun with, regardless of the stress that's happening. You also find people who you can connect with and work through your difficulties with, you know, surrounded with love. And that's something special. And thanks, gaming. Like,
oh, Fiamma, thank you. Oh my goodness. It's, you'd be surprised. You know, like you say, we all enter these spaces of gaming to escape or to, you know, connect with people that like the same thing as us, right? But that's all very surface level to what is actually going on in these people's lives. And you'd be so surprised the amount of people who are actually undergoing like significant medical stress in their life, either from side effects from medications or from untreated illnesses. So that's so great that you've been able to connect with these people, Fiamma. Yeah, really, really, really touching. Thank you.
It's pretty awesome. That's all right.
Also, thank you to Marcus for a $50 donation. I'm happy to help support. Keep up the wonderful work on the COAG podcast. Keep making a positive difference in this world, all of you.
Thanks, Bacon. You're a great supporter. Bacon's been around for a very long time, and like that right there is very special. Sorry. It's just, Bacon's always been very generous when it comes to donating for raising money for special causes, especially in the streaming world. And he has previously when I was streaming. So that's really nice. Thank you.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much. Personally, I haven't gone through such intense physical medical things like that, but for me myself, and it's not something that I speak on very often, but probably I was diagnosed with anxiety and depression when I was 14. Now 14-year-olds, teenagers are up and down normally, so I was taking medication for a long time for that and not really getting any actual treatment for it, because I was only like masking like particular symptoms. And it's actually only after taking some time off work this year, as some people know in the community, that I've actually been diagnosed with inattentive ADHD. And I know a lot of women around my age are getting diagnosed with this later on in life. And getting getting treatment for that and being actually listened to, having to advocate for yourself as a patient as well, getting second opinions, and goodness me, the amount of money it costs for some of that kind of diagnosis is incredibly stressful. And honestly, you're right, Fia, like having people around that have experienced the same things. Like there are a number of people in the community that that obviously they consider their condition their superpower, and they really advertise that around. And I met them in person at PAX and things like that, and just being able to talk to them and them telling me that you're doing amazing, you're doing the best job that you can. Like, man, like honestly, this community is the best. Like it really is.
Gamers rock.
Yeah. It's fantastic.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know the going through the mental stuff, cyclothymic disorder is what I was diagnosed with a couple of years back. I'd been on medication for generalized anxiety and depressive episodes for years, and sometimes it helped and sometimes it didn't. And a person said, that's because it's the wrong diag. And I'm like, okay, good. So, all right, sure, thank you. But cyclothymic is like bipolar but fast. So instead of like months-long episodes, you have weeks or days. And mine is thankfully not. I don't have manic episodes, but I do have hypermanic episodes. So no delusions of grandeur, thankfully. But I do overcommit to lots of things. But I feel you. I don't understand. Like for me personally, seeing people who have this as their superpower, amazing.
Yeah,
I could not.
Yeah,
I need my meds.
It's and it's okay. It's okay to seek help for this. It's okay to not be okay. And I know that sounds so bloody cliche, but
it's a cliche for a reason. It's true.
No, it is totally true. And it is really hard to reach out in today's day and age because you do get the cringe factor. A lot of people will be like, well, they're just doing it for XYZ. They're doing it for attention, or they're doing it because it's popular. And it could be my inbox is open. I'm here to support you until that is needed. And they're like, you're doing it because of XYZ, you know, attention, you know, it is really hard mentally, even to ask your friends for support, let alone everybody else. And so I do believe that it is very important, even just to chat about things, because there's a level of relatability within that, and people can see themselves in that as well. And they're like, oh, well, I also struggle with this. And especially with women, where there's not a lot known about women's bodies. A friend of mine was telling me lately that she was diagnosed with something for years because they said she was intolerant to dairy, and she had a lot of pain for years. And they said, it's just your intolerance to dairy, until she was trying to get pregnant with her husband. It didn't happen, went to the doctors, and they're like, oh, well, you have endometriosis. Like that'll be why.
Allergy to dairy.
Yeah, for years they were telling her pain is because of all these other range of things, when they could have looked elsewhere. And it does come down to, obviously there's a lot going on with people's bodies. There's a lot of places to look. The hospitals are very, very busy dealing with people.
Oh, Ellie, don't give me that bull. There is this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm getting up here because there is a gender data gap. Okay, forget the wage gap. There is a gender data gap. All like 99.9999% of all of these, and this is just in medicine, right? All these research is behind the effects of medication, illnesses, all that kind of stuff. All on men.
Males. I suppose it's males of different ages, but males more than females, definitely. Well, that's why there's such a boom in ADHD diagnoses with adult women, is because all the symptoms and things that teachers are supposed to look out for are little symptoms in little boys. It's not in little girls. And so it's all little boy based. And that's why women go decades and don't get the resources that they need and the help they need, because you know, this data and these studies are on little boys or men. It's just it's not built for us.
Even down to heart attacks. The whole pain down your arm and pain in your chest thing is not how it presents in most bloody women. That's not what a heart attack looks like.
You know what? When I was so this episode was supposed to air, and I was actually in hospital, and I was having a massive allergic reaction. And Lishi, you were such a major support. I was like, Lishi, what is happening? I'm having what is this? Because I know you've spoken a little bit about with your community about your struggles and how you're still managing that. And I remember I had some chest pains, and I think I just like worked myself up because I was like, oh my God, what's happening? And they gave me 2 ECGs to make sure I wasn't having a heart attack. Because they did ask me if I did have pain down my arm and things like that. So I feel like they did take it seriously. So maybe the protocols around chest pain have changed. But yeah, so that was massive. And can I just say, I'm just going to keep this really like honest. The ADHD medication that I'm taking can increase histamines.
Right. So there's a link to it all then.
Now, I the other day forgot to take my loratadine. I'm taking like it's like a Claritine or whatever. I asked my psychiatrist if it was okay to like keep taking it like every day just over this season, because the town that I live in, we have a lot of farming, and there can be a lot of pollen, and it's a very dry year this year, and so it's all up in our noses, all the plant sperm. Thank you. It's really yuck. And I was like, is it okay to take it every day? And she's like, yeah, that's fine. Forgot it one day. I got a rash immediately, like around my eyes. Like immediately. I was like, right. I took a steroid. I took another allergy meds, and I was like, right, hopefully this is okay. I've got like hydrocortisone cream, and it's just like, oh my God. And anyway, so I'm going through the process of seeing if this is actually the right medication for me. And Epic Treasure in the chat. Hello, lovely female gamer in the community. Been a streamer for 10 years, I think. So amazing. Thank you for being in. She's talking about how she's had bad allergies and thought it could be ADHD medication related. So it's like, people can have conditions and they can have medication for it, but then it still has like additional side effects, and you have to kind of figure out whether those side effects are they tolerable, or do you need to move on to other things?
Which is also one of the things which is like super, super important. If and when you do see a medical professional, tell them what you're taking. They don't care if it's illegal. They genuinely don't. Tell them what you're taking. No, seriously. They just want you to not be dead. And if they prescribe you something and there's an interaction, that can happen. Be your own person. I know that's hard to do sometimes, but like, even if you just keep a list of meds that you've taken and just hand them over and let them deal with it, like, it's easy as that. Even
vitamins. They want to know if you're on anything, multivitamins as well, because that you're taking that every day. So that counts as well.
Shot of wheatgrass juice. Put it down.
And shot of cod liver oil, whatever, in the morning.
Everything.
So yeah, it's and it's so basically what I'm getting from your experience, Fiamma, is that your passion for gaming has led to links to these communities. It's helped you not only feel better, but be able to cope with when the bad shit happens.
Big time. And I like streaming feeds into it such a big way, because like I've had terrible days. Everyone has. And not a lot of the time, but sometimes they are caused by the medical stuff that's going on. And I don't want to share stuff on stream. There are certain things that I'm going through at the moment that I'm not comfortable sharing with people who aren't my immediate family and my medical professionals, because I'm still working through it myself in the brain box. So when I'm having a rough day because of that, I know that when I go to my community, and it doesn't matter where your community is. If you're a creator, cool, that might be your chat. If you're in a guild, it might be that. If it's just your Discord server, it doesn't matter who your community is. If you can go to them and just kind of say, look, I'm having a rough go. My energy's probably not where it's going to be. I'm not comfortable talking about why, but just so you know, it's not because I'm pissed at you. It's because I'm going through a thing. And when I start a stream with that, I guarantee you, every time I have finished the stream being on cloud nine, because my community has respected my boundaries and they have supported me through it. And they're like, right, let us throw all of the annoying sound commands at Fia so she can't but it just, having that community around you is so important. And it's our chosen family, right? We call
100%.
the community, it's the family, because
I love that. I love that.
Yeah. It's dorky and lovely, and legit. They're my chosen family, even though they technically chose me. And I just that's wouldn't trade anything in the world for them.
That's awesome. Yeah. My heart is also. Ellie. Throwing in a 20. It couldn't be 15 for my OCD, because now we're up to 205. 205.
Amazing.
Oh, someone will have to throw in $5 to make it even.
Oh no. Thank you so much, darling. Really, really appreciate it. If you're wondering what the heck I'm talking about, we're raising money for the National Breast Cancer Foundation, and we were meant to collaborate with them in October for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, but illness struck on the day. So, we're doing it today. So thank you so much to all of the generous donations that we have had here. And thank you for, just being open and honest. I think honesty is something that we kind of don't have a lot of sometimes when we're all struggling, and I think people really worry about being judged or being a burden on others, when at the end of the day, like, we really should be helping one another as much as we can. So even if it is just a chat,
literally. And that's like one of the things, one of the mental barriers that I had to break down was being a burden, because when you're talking on camera, so one of the things that I've learned over my 7 years of dealing with all this medical bullcrappery is that if I ask, I have to trust them that they're going to firstly be there for me if they can, but also I have
Yeah.
to trust that if they can't, if they're not in a good place to help, that they will tell me.
Yeah.
That's like I'm breaking down, like I'm not going to be a burden. I'm going to ask for the help, but I'm trusting that if the person I ask cannot help, they will tell me and there will be no hard feelings between either of us, and I will seek that help and assistance elsewhere. With
Totally.
no grudges. But yeah,
Mhm.
it's believe if your friends are like, if you've got good friends and you've got good people around you, they will tell you if they can't, and that's okay. It's not a rejection of you. It's a I can't help right now. And
Yeah,
that's okay.
if there's no space on their side, if they're going through something themselves, or even if they're just not in the right mindset to really offer whatever needs to be offered, you know, even advice or a shoulder to cry on, that's more than fine for them to have a boundary as well. And it's lovely that you point that out, because I adopted that a few years ago when I was going through a hard time, and people would come to me with their issues, and I'm like, like, I don't know how to tell you that I'm not very good company right now. Like, I really can't help you. And and a step further, that what you're saying to me is actually impacting me as well. Like, my guard is down, it's impacting me, and I don't know how to separate and protect myself from that. And from that moment on, I think I was like, okay, well, if I ever need to vent or ask for advice, I say to my friend, have you got a moment, or are you in the right headspace to listen to me? And most of the time I get greeted with, oh, heck yeah, lay it on me. And it's also lovely, because then you don't feel that you're unconsensually like word vomiting and keeping them in one place,
exactly
you know,
it.
even if they need to like run out and go and like do an errand, like, girl, you're really keeping me in my computer right now. Like, I gotta go.
I will be back in 3 hours, but I need to leave right now.
Yeah, like, even if it's not like anything big on their end, more so like, I just can't be glued to the chat right now. That you know, you get that sort of freedom. But it is really lovely to have that sort of boundary thing on both ends, being like, I just need this, which is scary in itself. Can you help? And most of the time they say yes. And if they can't, it's lovely then being like, oh, if you don't mind, I'm not really feeling that well, I'm not really in that headspace, can we revisit in a couple hours or in the morning or whatever? And it's really beneficial on both ends for that. So thanks for pointing that out, Pia.
Oh, you're very welcome.
I've been a bit quiet on the topic because it's very much resonating with me, and I'm feeling myself getting quite emotional right now, and I don't want to cry, but I'm going to. Sorry.
Of course.
Don't apologize.
No, I've been going through my own stuff for the last 2 years now, with no answers, and gaming really does help in that aspect. For me, it definitely is the shut off from reality. And like, kind of like I'm hiding from the world, because I don't want to deal with what I'm going through. And it gets me in moments like this where I shut off for too long and I block it out, that it'll whack me in the face and be like, hey, remember me? I'm still here. I'm not going anywhere. So it's such like, it's a good and a bad thing, right? And it's so good to hear that, you know, you've got a professional who can help you in the sense of remembering that, yes, you can go into these worlds and isolate, but you need to come out and you need to face it. You need to deal with it, because we all need that help. It's such a hard balance.
It really is.
Yeah.
Would it be okay if I shared something that my psych shared with me when I was really struggling with stuff? Are you okay to? Would you be open to hearing that? Or yeah, okay. It might not help for you. It did for me, but that's, you know, everyone's different. But one of the things that I was doing a lot was fusing. Like, it's, you know, my body is broken and I can't figure out what it is and I can't fix it, and it must have been, it's me. And she taught me to sort of I don't know if you're into visual shit, but look, let's try. So she got me to imagine that, like, so my bung knee was like in this little glass orb and I was holding it in my hands. It's not me, but it is mine. Yeah, I own it and it belongs to me. But sometimes it's too heavy to hold and my arms get tired. And so I had a wooden shelf and there were other glass orbs on there. This is when I was living in Brisbane and I'd been away from my family for more than 10 years and it was sucking. And so that was in an orb. And I was struggling with my stream stuff at the time because I was sick all the time. So that was in an orb. And I had this bung knee orb. And when it got too heavy, I would take a really deep breath and I'd put a whole lot of effort into my shoulders and my arms, and I'd lift it up and I'd put it on the shelf, and then I'd see it up there, and that's okay. And then I'd step away from the shelf and do whatever I had to do with my life. And then sometimes when I was really, and I couldn't get it out of my head, I'd go back to that room and I'd pick it up and I'd just hold it for a bit and I'd feel it and I'd cry and I'd just have my messy minute and or however long I needed. And then I'd do the thing and I'd put it back on the shelf, and it was always there. It didn't go anywhere, but it was slightly compartmentalized, and I could visit it whenever I felt overwhelmed and needed it. I'm not a medical professional, but
it's a detachment, right? And we all need that. And it's good to revisit it because it is important. It is something that we need to go through and solve if we can even solve it. But you also can't bear the burden every day and just have it sit here and weigh you down. Like, I haven't felt this way in such a long time.
Oh, Leige, I just want
Sorry, I don't mean to bring this down, but it's such a tough topic that you just do not know what people are dealing with behind closed doors, you know?
Absolutely.
And the fact we can all come together in a world of gaming that can save us from things is so special. And, you know, since sharing some of my battles, I've had hundreds of messages from people saying that they go through similar things, or they're suggesting that it might be like what they go through. And it literally like just opened up my eyes to see everyone goes through something. We're all in it for different reasons, but we're unfortunately all in it for the same, like together, you know what I mean? We all battle. So it's really special to build these communities and groups that can help you get through it.
Yeah, I agree, because it can lead to tunnel vision, I find, especially because, like you were saying, everyone's I say issues lightly, but everyone that has things to deal with, it's all quite individual to everyone. Like, we might have similarities, but it's quite individual. And so your own concoction of things going on can be so blinding. And it's just in front of you like this. Like, that's all you see. Like, you can see little bits and bobs outside of it, but that's what you see. And when someone says things like that, like, oh yes, I go through XYZ as well, it steps away a bit, and then someone else says something,
it pushes it back, right?
And then it opens up to being like, oh my gosh, this breath of fresh air is that I'm not alone. And again, with our lovely cliches that actually matter, it's I'm not alone in this, and it actually stops you just only staring at yourself and whatever you're going through. And it doesn't cure, it's not cure all, of course not, but it does lighten the load of these issues. And I'm like you, Fia, I really like visualizations and things like that help me, like physically picturing taking the load off, like the heavy jacket, or, you know, the filled pockets of things, like physically taking that off and envisioning it is really, it's really helpful. It just takes another step. And at the end of the day, anything that helps is fantastic. And it is fantastic because the internet can be a fantastic place, but it also can be a bombardment of a lot of information, a lot of people all at once. And so as much as it's great for crowdsourcing and saying like, hey, is anyone going through this? And someone can say, yeah, that was me too. There can also be the overload of information where someone's trauma dumping and saying too much. And so just having something where you can just step outside of yourself and not have to listen to it is fantastic. And it's a really good tool and also a really negative tool, but most of the time, fantastic tool.
You've made me very emotional, so thank you.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. It's just such a tough topic, especially at the moment.
I know, and I know it was gonna. I knew it was gonna strike a chord with you, and I messaged the private chat, and I'm just I could sense, you know, and as the host, it's my job to, you know, make sure everyone's okay. And I know that, look, we all put ourselves out into the public eye, and when you may have started in a certain position and you may have, you know, been able to paint like a really nice, you know, picture of yourself to the public, and then to have something happen to you and then feel that pressure and feel like people didn't come to see me talk about this. People don't follow me so I can, talk about XYZ. Even though we're all people and we're all seeking connection. And I know people have been, especially in the content creator space, and especially when they've been dealing with issues surrounding their mental health, they have been absolutely bombarded with the worst kinds of messages that you can ever get. And quite frankly, it's disgusting. And it's the reason why people like myself who are dealing with something that you can't see, but you know what? You can see it. I know for a fact that I've been dealing with ADHD my whole life, even though I didn't know it. There's a lot of impulse control issues there that can be manifested in, bad dental. It can be, you're a larger person, you struggle with your, losing weight and things like that. Like there's actually so many things that you can see that from mental health issues that don't manifest as, someone going through a cancer treatment or something like that. The amount of backlash that some people get from expressing these extremely traumatic situations is just revolting. But the more we talk about it and the more we can say to one another, it's okay. I can't help you, but here's some resources. If anyone comes to you and says I feel like unaliving myself or anything like that, something that you feel is massive, there are so many actual resources that you can direct them to. And if you don't need to take it on board. You can just say to them, hey, here's a link to a website, go on there, find someone to talk to. We're not all psychologists, we're not all doctors. And Ellie, you touched on this. No, understand your limits, and it's okay. Guys, bloody bacon, $30.
Yay!
Some of the most magnificent women and kind souls to ever be born onto this little blue marble spinning through space in its exorable path around a solar entity. And this universe has been made infinitely better for it. Thank you. We try. And
really, really hard sometimes.
especially sometimes just to get out of bed in the morning.
That's for sure.
Especially when you've got an electric blanket. Those things are amazing.
You know what? Actually, last night, oh my God, I woke up sweating. Absolutely.
No.
You left it on.
No, I don't use an electric blanket. This is what I'm saying, but I've never been a warm sleeper. I just woke up and anyway, I had to get up and have a shower. It was that's meds for you, I think. You guys, we've had some incredible people through the chat. If you are listening and you're struggling with something, I'm going to put a list of links in the description. If you found this episode quite triggering, we started on one end with counting down about Christmas trees, but we've ended on something that is actually real. So thank you all for sharing. Thank you all for being such amazing women in this space.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you to our chat. Thank you to our listeners on Spotify. Thank you to our product sponsor, Elgato, for making us look and sound our very best, even when we don't feel our very best. That's it. And girls, is there anything that you're doing this week that you'd like to shout out? We did mention Fiamma's stream that she'll be doing. That will be very interesting, bringing someone new onto World of Warcraft.
That is so cool. I need to check that out.
I'm really
I just
excited.
love that concept. I wish more
Me
games
too.
did that kind of collaboration because that is
Agreed.
insanely good.
Well, I mean, like this one's sponsored by Blizzard, but I've genuinely been thinking maybe I need to like extend it myself. So if you
Yeah.
want to come play with me, we'll sort something
That
out.
would be great.
I'd love to have you.
Well, the first 20 levels are free, aren't they?
They are,
Mm.
except you can't group up in a party.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there are a couple of limitations designed to make it harder for bots and spammers to do things, which I
Yeah,
get it. But like, if
Maybe
you're
we can
interested and
advise
you want to know
them.
more, I mean, like, hit me up and we'll have a chat. We'll see what we can work out.
Amazing.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Felicia, what are you up to this week?
Have lots of secrets. I have yeah. Let's
exciting.
just say I've got an appearance on a content show. I've got some works with a convention, and in a month's time I will be overseas. I'm gonna leave it at that. That's 3 different things.
Oh my
Amazing.
days.
Yeah,
That is
so
incredible. Well,
this new almost being a full-time content creator thing is going to plan.
Good. I'm glad. I'm
amazing.
really excited for you.
Thank
That's
you.
awesome.
Thank you. It's been a long time coming.
Make sure you look after yourself, protect
Yes.
your energy. We want you to
I got my
succeed in
crystals,
this.
don't worry.
Yeah. Can't wait to see that. Amazing stuff. Ellie,
Thank you.
we streaming? Or
I'm
what are you doing this
streaming
week?
on
Okay.
Wednesday night as always. Catch me on Twerking Queen on Twitch. I will be in a month. I'll be overseas in Leishy's suitcase. So I'll be curling up
Get
on
your
in
passport
there.
ready.
Yeah.
I
I've
love
got
that.
the 10-year one. And yeah, I think I'm gonna bite the bullet and at least try and play one of the game of the year games. I think I'm convinced, but I might do Resident Evil 4 because I am a Resident Evil girly. So I might go on, and it's, dare I say, like half price at JB Hi-Fi. I've just noticed, so I might go and
Bargain.
I might go and smash
Yes.
a bit of
Ooh,
that.
exciting.
So yeah, I think that's my week, and I'm hoping that the weather warms up because I wouldn't mind, doing warm weather stuff. So that's me.
Yeah, it's pretty gloomy at the moment.
I know. Spring.
Yes.
Sure.
Well, it's 31 degrees in WA, so if you ever need to, experience some sun, come on over here. It's a great time. This week I am doing a lot of work on the COAG conversation series we have. I've spent the last 4 days like back to back contacting people. Do you want to come on? I've got game devs. I've got game mums. I've got so many streamers. I've even got one streamer that I have to talk to after this. It is insane. This series is just cancel all your plans for December except for Christmas because it's gonna be back to back. Back to back.
So exciting.
Goodness. It's insane. And oh my gosh, people, again, are amazing. So that's what I'll be doing this week. And yeah, really exciting times for everyone by the sounds of it. Focus on that if you can. If gaming's not enough, focus on all of the incredible work that you're all doing in the community. And if anyone is listening that is struggling, reach out. And we will see you all next week for the final episode for season 1.
Exciting.
Of Confessions of a Gamer Girl podcast. 20 episodes. My goodness. It's been a long time, but it's been a good time. And yeah, we'll see you all next week, guys. Be good to one another.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.